Ellie looked out the window at 3 in the morning. She was surprised to find that it was dawn outside. She thought she was hallucinating in a daze, so she pulled up the curtains to take a closer look. Instead, she saw a very strange scene. A bright light suddenly appeared in the distant sky. Ellie can't keep her eyes open under the glare of the light, but soon the darkness returned. She thought it was a normal geographical phenomenon and didn't think much of it, so she went back to sleep. The next morning, her boyfriend came over and woke her up. 2 people are here on a trip, getting ready to go out and get acquainted with the geography. Just as they were about to go to the front desk to buy a drink, only to find that the boss is not there. They thought it was too early and the owner wasn't up yet, so they put on their clothes and went out to buy. But when they came out into the street, there were no pedestrians in sight. This made Jack a little curious. How could there be no one there in the middle of the morning? So they wandered around and shouted, but they didn't see anyone until they reached the square. They panicked instantly. They went to the shops along the road and looked everywhere, even go knocking on the doors of local people, but there was still no one in sight. Even the TV lost its signal. It was as if they were the only ones left on the island. Such anomalies made them panic. They rushed back to the computer to check the information, see if there is any major news happening, but all the information on the website has stopped updating since last night. Ellie tried to contact her friends. Unfortunately, she hadn't heard back from anyone. This made Jack panic. He couldn't believe that everyone would disappear overnight, so he grabbed Ellie and decided to go out and keep looking. But just as they reached the street, Jack spotted a car that was starting up, but when he went over to it, there was no one inside. So the 2 men got in their car and searched far and wide, but after a few rounds, they still found nothing. This made them feel very sad. It was as if they had been abandoned by the world in the blink of an eye, but there's no point in being sad. They had to find a way to survive. It's a good thing there are so many supermarkets here. They went in and pulled a few carts of food, then found a $100 billion villa, and lived there in style, beginning to live a carefree life. But the good times didn't last long. When on a trip to the supermarket to pick up something, Jack had no qualms about playing new tricks. He stood on a shopping trolley and ran around the supermarket, then accidentally fell to the ground. Ellie heard the noise and went to check. Luckily, it was just a bruised arm, but it scared the hell out of Haraslo. Ellie warned him not to be so crazy, because if he was seriously injured, there is not even a doctor to help him. But Jack thought she was making a big deal out of it. The 2 argued about it, even arguing into the night. Jack knew that Ellie was actually worried about their safety, so he apologized to Ellie and comforted her. After this incident, they thought they could continue to live their lives in peace, but the next day something even more terrible happened.